What if Titanoboa snake didn't go extinct? Titanoboa was a snake that lived about 60 million years ago, right after the dinosaurs disappeared. It was basically a 40-foot-long, 1-ton python with an attitude problem. It lived in what is now Colombia, in swamps hot and wet enough to make a sauna jealous. Its main hobbies included eating giant turtles and terrifying anything smaller than a refrigerator. So, what would happen if Titanoboa had somehow survived into the modern day? Could we find one slithering through the Everglades? Would zoos need aircraft hangars instead of reptile houses? Let's start with the biology. Titanoboa wasn't just big. It was climate-dependent. Cold-blooded reptiles can only reach that size if the world is hotter than it is now, because they need external heat to keep their metabolism running. 60 million years ago, the tropics were several degrees warmer than today. If Titanoboa were still around, the only places warm enough for it to live comfortably would be near the equator. South Florida in July? Perfect. Canada? Not so much. So we wouldn't see Titanoboa in New York sewers, no matter how many urban legends you've heard. Now, what about its interaction with people? A snake that size could, in theory, swallow a human. In practice, it would prefer manatees, crocodiles, or anything that weighs more than your car. But humans are inconveniently everywhere, so encounters would happen. Imagine a nature documentary shot in Miami Beach. Here we see Titanoboa basking on a parking lot, where it has cleverly coiled itself around 6 Toyotas. Note the puzzled tourists trying to retrieve their rental car keys. Ecologically, the presence of Titanoboa would scramble entire ecosystems. In South America, capybaras, the world's largest rodents, would be a constant snack food. Cattle ranching would become a lot more exciting. Farmers in Colombia would invent new proverbs like, "Don't count your cows until you check for giant snakes." Conservationists would have the odd challenge of trying to protect both endangered animals and the prehistoric megasnake that keeps eating them. Let's talk about cities. Titanoboa in the wild is one thing, but inevitably someone would decide to keep one as a pet. This would not go well. In the first week, the owner would post cute videos on YouTube of their giant snake drinking from the swimming pool. In the second week, the HOA would file noise complaints about the reptilian hissing sounds. In the third week, the entire suburb would be evacuated after the snake ate a golf cart. Local news would cover it breathlessly. Animal control says Titanoboa is not considered dangerous if left completely alone and provided with 500 pounds of food per day. But the real consequences wouldn't come from individual snakes, it would be from reproduction. If Titanoboas bred successfully in the modern world, we'd quickly have thousands of them. Florida already struggles with invasive Burmese pythons that grow up to 20 feet and eat everything from raccoons to alligators. Titanoboa is twice that size. The Everglades would go from ecological problem to prehistoric nightmare swamp. Tourism slogans would need updating. Visit Florida. We promise you'll only be eaten by a snake half the time. Could humanity fight back? Yes. We have helicopters, tranquilizers, and a lot of nervous park rangers. But the logistics would be tricky. One Titanoboa requires enough food to empty a petting zoo. Transporting it would take shipping containers. A zoo trying to house one would have to explain to visitors why the snake enclosure looks suspiciously like a sports stadium. Insurance companies would quietly increase premiums on any facility within 500 miles. There's also the question of mythology. If Titanoboas had survived into recorded history, human cultures would be full of giant snake legends. We'd have Norse sagas about Thor battling not the Midgard serpent, but a Colombian swamp boa. Medieval maps would warn sailors not with "here be dragons," but "here be enormous snakes that can eat your ship." Indiana Jones movies would end very differently. And then there's the matter of population density. Modern humans like to cluster in big cities, but Titanoboa doesn't care. If you plop one of these snakes down near Sao Paulo or Jakarta, you suddenly have millions of people in the strike zone. Emergency planning manuals would need an extra appendix. In case of earthquake, take cover. In case of Titanoboa, take a flight. Finally, what about the planet as a whole? Would Titanoboa change the course of evolution? Probably not. It would eat a lot of mammals, sure, but humanity has a long track record of being surprisingly hard to wipe out. Most of us would keep living normal lives, occasionally checking under the bed for snakes the size of commuter trains. So, if Titanoboa never went extinct, Earth wouldn't end. Civilization would stumble along, but with frequent interruptions. Traffic jams caused not by rush hour, but by a 40-foot reptile coiled around the freeway. Viral videos of world's biggest snake loose at Walmart, and entire new industries dedicated to building snake-proof everything. And yet, in the end, the world would keep spinning. The sun would rise, the oceans would ebb and flow, and somewhere in a tropical swamp, a Titanoboa would finish digesting a school bus and quietly slip back into the water. Note to future paleontologists, please stop wishing extinct monsters back into existence. We have enough trouble with the ones we already have.